What's up, guys? Mike Olson here, as always, with my partner Justin Moody. We are the Moody Olson team here in Las Vegas, and this is our YouTube channel, Moving to Las Vegas. Are you thinking about moving to Las Vegas, but you don't know what are the things that you need to know to live life like a local here? Today we're going to talk about what are the unwritten rules you need to know before you move to Las Vegas. Stay with us and find out what you need to know. All right, Justin, how long have you lived here in Las Vegas?
I've been here for a little over 14 years now.
Can you share with us what is the first thing that you learned that you wish you knew before you moved to Las Vegas?
Oh man, there's so many different things, but I think the top one is that you really kind of, at some point in your time living here, you really have to embrace that 24-hour lifestyle.
Vegas is a true 24-hour town. That is a fact.
Yeah. So, I've never been a late night guy. I've never been a party goer or a club guy. But there are times where, it's later at night and you just need something, especially in the hot summer months. You may not want to go out too much during the day, so it's always nicer to go out a little bit later at night to handle some of my errands. And the great thing is, because it does have a 24-hour lifestyle, you're going to find grocery stores that are going to be open until midnight. There are a few, like Wenco, open 24/7. So if you want to do your grocery shopping later at night or really early in the morning when it's cooler, you're going to have that availability. Plus, it frees up the rest of your day to where if you just want to enjoy your Saturday or Sunday or a day off during the week, you're not limited to just the daytime hours to run some errands.
So one thing that is really great about Vegas being a 24-hour town is if you are a shift worker, or if you're somebody who works from home, maybe you have control over your own schedule, it really gives you a lot of freedom to organize your day the way that you want to, because the town is completely available to you 24 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're somebody who enjoys, if you're somebody who works for yourself, you get to set your own schedule and you enjoy working later in the evening, particularly if you're trying to stay out of the heat, you can do that. And you're still going to be able to go out at night. And like you said, there's grocery stores that are open 24 hours a day. There's restaurants all over the city that are open 24 hours a day. There's a lot of, if you want to go out and do socializing, there's opportunities to do that 24 hours a day.
And even gyms. I mean, there are a lot of 24-hour gyms.
My gym is a 24-hour gym.
Yeah. So
and I have driven past there late at night before and seen there's cars in the parking lot. People are in there getting their workout in. So it's really a town that lends itself to people who have non-traditional schedules, whether it's because you're a shift worker, maybe you work in the hospitality industry, maybe you work in the casino industry, maybe you're somebody who does freelance work and you work from home and you prefer to be up at night when you don't have to have the air conditioner on so high because it's not 120 degrees outside and you want to sleep during the day, or you have that flexibility here in a way that you're not going to have in most other major metropolitan cities.
Yeah, I agree. And on the other hand, though, too, you want to be careful that you don't get caught up in it too much, especially if you do work during the day or if you have set hours. It can be a little deceiving where all of a sudden, you're having dinner at 1 or 2 in the morning and you look down and you're like, oh, I got to be up in 4 hours.
Right. Well, I'm a big believer in routine, and it's a little off topic, but I think that no matter what your schedule is, that you need to have some sort of a routine that you can fall into that will help you maintain your productivity.
Absolutely. It can just be a little bit of a pitfall, especially if you're just moving here.
Right. All right, so let's move on to our next point, and that is that the Strip is for the tourists, but there are locals who do enjoy it, and we like to enjoy it in our own way. So Justin and I have talked about this many times before. We don't really go down to the Strip. That's not to say we never go down to the Strip. It's just not somewhere that we commonly go.
Correct.
We go down there, we've been down there together on a few occasions for work conferences. Obviously, both of us have family and friends that come into town and visit, and a lot of times they want to go do the sort of touristy activities that you can find down on the Strip. Or I know for me personally, some of the dining and shopping options down on the Strip you can't find anywhere else in town.
Correct.
And so
some of them you can't find anywhere else in the world.
This is true. So for those reasons, we do occasionally go to the Strip, but we're not going to go there like the tourists do. So what does that mean? First of all, if you're a local, With a few exceptions, generally speaking, you're not going to do your gambling on the strip.
Yes.
Right? So the gambling on the strip is not the best gambling in the city. You're not going to have the best odds, you're not going to have favorable table limits, and you're going to have to deal with the tourists. If you really want to gamble in this town, doesn't matter what type of gambling you want to do, you can find it off strip. Whether it's video poker, whether it's slot machines, whether it's full-blown table games, whether it's playing in a poker room, all of these things exist off strip. And I don't just mean Fremont Street either. I mean truly out in the normal Las Vegas locals community, all these things can be found.
And we'll put a link below to our video, the top 5 Vegas local casinos, so you can take a look at those as well.
Another thing that you need to keep in mind if you do go down to the strip is that there is free parking available on the strip for Vegas locals if you know where to look.
If you know where to look.
And that is a key money saver, guys, because parking on the strip can be outrageously expensive.
Yes.
Just off the top of my head, I know some of the free parking that I have used before. Caesar's Palace has free parking for locals, as does actually the Wynn has free parking, period. They don't charge for parking in their parking garage for anybody. So that's a good tip. What about you? Can you think of some other free parking on the strip?
I can. Actually, I'm going to share 2 hacks.
Okay.
Since we're talking about the strip. If you're going to be a local, here's 2 hacks for you. We'll go with the free parking first. It's technically free, but you do want to tip. But if you go to City Center at Aria, and you go down one level off of Harmon, they have valet. It's free valet. It's unlimited time. Always tip your valet attendants. But that's really the only free valet I think I know of in town anymore. And it's just a great secured parking lot. It's underground, so your car will stay nice and cool, especially in the summer. My next hack would be for the strip. The strip is great for date nights. Now, when I mean date night, it could be a little weird because you want to go on a Thursday. Everything is going to be open, all the restaurants, all the shows, everything will be open Thursday, but you're a day ahead of the tourist crowds.
Nice.
So if you want to see locals on the strip, or just very savvy Vegas visitors, Thursday night is the night to go. So date night on the strip, Thursdays. Always.
Really, any weeknight that's not Friday.
Well, a lot of them you'll see the restaurants or the shows may be dark on Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
But Wednesday through Sunday, they're usually all open, which is why I always, if I'm going to go on a date or if I'm taking somebody down to the strip, it's usually going to be on a Thursday night.
Another tip for you guys, there are a lot of locals discounts available, and there are some pretty commonly used apps out there that list those discounts out. We'll go ahead and see about putting a couple of those down in the description below, but keep an eye out for those locals discounts. If you are going to go down to the strip, don't pay what the tourists pay. Take advantage of the status that you have as a resident of Clark County and get those locals discounts.
And even if you're only going to put $20 on a machine or very minimal or just have dinner or lunch, get a player's card because you will accumulate points on those player's cards to where down the road they're going to start offering you discounted or even free meals, free parking at places that don't offer free parking. So definitely take advantage of those player's cards, and it's kind of an insider tip for you.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is don't forget to embrace the outdoors, but respect the desert.
Yes.
The desert will get you. So we've talked about it on channel many times before. There is a surprising number of outdoor activities available here in the Las Vegas Valley and nearby, such as hiking in Red Rocks, such as all of the lake sports available at Lake Mead and down on the river, and hiking up in Mount Charleston and rock climbing. There's a lot of outdoor activities available here, and you should take advantage of those unless you're just not into that. Obviously, you guys know that Justin and my favorite outdoor activity by far is playing golf, which we do as often as we can.
Yes.
But regardless of whether you're talking about golfing, hiking, lake sports, rock climbing, horseback riding, you name it, what have you, you have to respect the fact that this is the Mojave Desert, one of the hottest places on earth, and it will get you. So make sure that you are planning accordingly. Make sure that you know where you're going and what you're doing. Make sure that somebody knows where you're going and what you're doing. Make sure that your hydration is covered. I recommend a Camelback. to carry a large amount of water on your back where you can keep your hands free for whatever it is you're doing. Or if you're going out, like say when I go out and play golf, I have an extra large water bottle that I fill up and I bring with me on the golf cart, and it usually ends up getting refilled at the turn.
Yep.
Because we try to stay hydrated out on the golf course. So
and alcohol is not a hydration tool.
Alcohol is not a hydration tool, although it is swing lubricant.
Yes, this is very true.
So, you know, I'm not against having a Bloody Mary at the beginning of the round, but after that, I'm going to drink some Gatorade, I'm going to drink some water, I'm going to stay hydrated, because there's nothing worse than ruining your day of outdoor fun because you went down with heat exhaustion or heat stroke.
And surprisingly, the longer I've been here and the more people I talk to, there are so many great outdoor activities. I've never done it, but now I'm hearing a lot that Vegas is a great place to paddleboard.
Vegas, I could see that. Yeah, for sure. Definitely a great place to paddleboard, especially out at Lake Las Vegas.
Lake Las Vegas. Some people have been telling me they go to Lake Mead. Mm-hmm. So there's just some great places to paddleboard in town, especially if it's a hot day. You start to get overheated. You just jump in the water and jump back on the paddleboard.
Yeah, I really enjoy paddleboarding. I got a chance to do quite a bit of it when I lived in Hawaii.
Yes, I've never done it before. So paddleboarding is a big thing here. You'll see in the summertime, you're going to see a lot of people who love to hike heading up to Mount Charleston and hitting the Mount Charleston trails, because it's going to be significantly cooler up on the mountain than it's going to be in the valley.
Yeah, absolutely.
But right now, we're in late September. The weather last week was amazing, and so you're seeing a lot of people now hitting Red Rock Canyon, Lake Mead hiking trails, Lone Mountain hiking trails. So there's just a lot of outdoor activity, and if you time it for either the right time of day or the right season, you can really, really enjoy what Las Vegas has to offer as far as the outdoors.
So going ahead and moving on to the next point, we got a few to share with you guys. We want to make sure we get through all of them. This is closely related to our previous point. This one is plan for the weather. And here's what we mean by that. So we've already talked about hydration and how important that is. We've already talked about understanding how the desert heat can affect you. So by all means, keep those things in mind. But you also have to keep some other things in mind, like if you're going to live here, get a sunshade for your car.
Yeah.
Get something to keep the heat. I'm telling you, the difference between having a sunshade and not having a sunshade in your car in Las Vegas is night and day. It's the difference between jumping in your car and driving off and standing outside your car for 5 minutes while it cools off enough for you to get inside the car.
Agreed.
It is a massive difference. Highly recommend getting a sunshade. I also recommend not leaving anything in your car where the direct sun is going to hit it if that thing can be negatively affected by the heat, right? You're not going to want to leave anything that can melt or that can get damaged by direct sunlight in your car unless you're going to strategically place it. Like I've been known, if I have, say, my laptop bag with me and I'm going out to lunch, I don't want to carry it inside to the restaurant. I've been known to set it down behind my driver's seat on the ground, and then put like a towel over it so that there's no direct sun hitting the bag, just to protect the stuff that's inside the bag.
And my daughter learned the hard way, you don't leave your crowns in the car in the summer. Now you don't have any crowns.
Yeah, and Dad probably had to clean the crayons out of his car.
That was not a fun experience, yes.
And then here's a tip that I tell you, it's a tip that Stasha would be able to share with you guys. Make sure that you have something warm with you, surprisingly, because you're going to go from being outside where it's 120 degrees outside, literally on some days, and then you're going to go into the restaurant for dinner and it's going to be 68, 70 degrees.
Correct.
And the difference, you'll get cold here. When you go into establishments, if you go into a bar to get a drink, if you go into a restaurant to have dinner, if you go into a grocery store, if you go into just the grocery store to do shopping, it can be cold, especially when you compare it to the heat that you just came in from.
Right.
So it's not a bad idea. It doesn't bother me as much, but I can tell you year round, like Stasha keeps a hoodie in my car so that she can have it when we go in somewhere to to eat or when we go in somewhere to shop. That's a good tip. Make sure that you're prepared for the temperature difference between the outside and the inside.
And even just particular times of year, like this time of year, you can get up to 100 degrees during the day and you're going to be wanting to wear shorts and a t-shirt. But if you're going to be out for an extended period of time and that sun starts to go down, breeze picks up, it can all of a sudden drop into the low 70s, and you might get chilly.
Yeah, for sure.
So having that, even if you're going to be outdoors during particular times of the year, especially fall and spring, where you can see dramatic temperature changes, having that as a backup is always a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. One last weather-related tip. Remember that Las Vegas does get monsoons.
Yes.
And monsoons bring flash flooding. You guys need to be safe around flooded areas. I don't care how big and how gnarly you think your truck is. It's not going to be thousands of gallons of water rushing down the street.
Not at all.
Stay out of those flash flood areas. Be aware of the areas that tend to flood. Most of us locals know where they are.
Yeah.
Make sure that you avoid them, and don't be a hero and try to drive through. Take your medicine, drive the long way around, or wait until the flood passes, which is usually fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But be aware of the monsoons, be aware of the flash floods, and be aware of the danger that both of them pose.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next point, guys, and that is make sure if you're going to be a local here that you understand Las Vegas culture and Las Vegas etiquette. What are some of the things that are really important to know culture and etiquette-wise here in Las Vegas, Justin?
All right, the longer you live here, the more and more people you're going to find, and you may even be one of those people in the service industry. Mm-hmm. They're going to become your friends. They may be family members. They may be you. They're your neighbors. You always want to treat, and Mike and I have a strong opinion about this. You always want to treat your service industry neighbors and friends with respect. They have a hard job and they deal with a lot of different people. So when Mike and I go out, whether we're going out for business or we're going out separately, we always try and make sure we're tipping generously and treating them with respect. That is a sure way to show somebody that you're a local and not necessarily a tourist. Not all tourists are rude and don't tip, but as locals, we usually take care of our service industry neighbors. So that's a big factor in separating yourself from the tourists and just being a part of the Las Vegas scene, especially if you're going to off-strip places that you're going to become a regular. One of the things I love is, my daughter and I have a breakfast spot that we like to go to on weekends. And the more we go, the more they get to know us.
Yeah.
So it just becomes more of a family neighborhood vibe. And it just makes it more comfortable. And because I tip well and I treat them with respect, they treat us with respect, and my daughter absolutely loves them. So that's a big tip for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple of examples on my end. There is a breakfast restaurant up here on the north side of town that Stasha and I enjoy going to on occasion. And we have had the opportunity to sit there and chat with the servers and to sit there and chat with the owner. And after going back a few times, we started actually getting some special treatment. For instance, one day we went in there and Stasha wanted to order something off of the weekend only menu, and the server said that it wasn't available, and the owner came over and said, no, for these guys, we'll go ahead and make that dish for you guys. So they recognized that we had come in there multiple times, that we always treated the staff with respect, and we always tipped very well. And that was paid back to us. Now, I'm not saying that you should do these things in the hope of getting some sort of a special perk. You should do it for the sake of being a good person. However, it doesn't hurt when you get rewarded for that sort of behavior. It makes you feel good about it. Another example, I mentioned it in our recent video we did on steakhouses. Stasha and I, our go-to date night spot here in town is Cleaver, and we have had the chance to sit up at the bar many times and develop some, I wouldn't go so far as to say friendships, but some acquaintanceships with the bartenders there. And now every time we go in there, we usually get at least one free shot.
There you go.
Because the bartender comes over and like, hey, it's good to see you guys again. You guys, we're doing our shot tonight, right? And absolutely. We get taken care of because we take care of them. We treat them with respect. We understand that they have a hard job. And we make sure they know that we appreciate them, both in the way that we treat them and in the tip that we leave at the end of the evening. And it's never been a bad thing for us.
Yeah. Another one of the things that I try and do as a Las Vegas local, and I know Mike and Stasha do the same thing, is we try and shop local.
100%. We try to give our business to local businesses when we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it makes you feel good. You're supporting your community. That money is staying in the community, and 9 times out of 10, the local shops just are going to treat you that much better.
Yeah.
So whether I'm shopping for clothing for my daughter, or we're going out, to have a meal, or just going to go enjoy some time, we try and find a local place. And there are plenty of places that are locally owned businesses. Downtown Summerlin, tons of locally owned businesses down there, restaurants and shops. So it's just great to support local business. And again, when you support local business, it helps build that sense of community, which is something that Vegas has struggled with for a very long time. And you're definitely starting to see it change and grow. And I hope that Mike and I are a big part in that growth and helping turn Las Vegas into a stronger locals community.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the locals aspect of Las Vegas is very underrated. I don't think people understand how strong a sense of community the city of Las Vegas or the Las Vegas metropolitan region have. And I tell you, one of the things that's really helping with that, I think, is the sports teams coming into town.
Absolutely.
You know, the shared identity of being Knights fans, right? Or of being, you know, to a lesser extent, Raiders fans. You see more of it with the Knights fans.
Oh, absolutely. That's a homegrown team.
It is a homegrown team, and it is a way that people show their loyalty to the city. More so than I think you're going to see with any of the other sports teams, whether it's the Raiders who are already here, or the A's that are coming, or the basketball team that's inevitably going to show up in the next decade.
Well, just the other day, I don't mean to cut you off, just the other day, I saw a news report, the last homestand for the Aviators was this weekend.
Yeah.
And both games sold out.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday, just like that, sold out.
Not surprised at all, and I'm already counting down till opening day.
There you go.
Because I love going to Aviators games. And I think I only made it to 2 or 3 this year, so kind of underdid it.
Yeah.
Moving on, guys. The next thing that you need to understand if you're going to be a Vegas local is you need to understand the Vegas job market and the Vegas economy. So the common misconception that people have, the casino and hospitality industry dominate the city. That's true to an extent, but probably not to the extent that you believe it to be true.
Correct.
There is a significant number of jobs, obviously, in the hotel industry, in the casino industry, and in the restaurant industry. Obviously, this town is full of hotels, casinos, and restaurants, and somebody has to run them. So there are a lot of jobs here. So surprisingly, the casino industry is not the massively dominant player that you may think it is, to the point where 50% of the jobs in the town are in the casino industry. There is a significant portion of jobs. According to an article that I looked up in the Las Vegas Review-Journal, which is our major newspaper here in town, this is just numbers from last year, there were about 385,000 jobs in the casino industry, which includes the casinos, the hotels adjacent to the casinos, and the dining and shopping establishments within the casinos.
And there are so many different job styles within those branches.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
They hire electricians and plumbers and housekeepers and marketing and admin staff and payroll and HR. So, I think a lot of people get confused with the casino industry. Is if you work in the casino industry, you're, dealing poker or blackjack, or you're a slot attendant or a waitress or a bartender. There are so many other jobs associated with the hospitality industry. So if you are a plumber or you're an HR director, an executive, those jobs are out there for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just in the casino industry, but kind of going into the point that we were trying to make originally here, which is that there is a ton of jobs in this town that have nothing to do with hospitality. If you are in the medical field, it's a great time to move to Las Vegas. We have a ton of jobs in the medical field that are available, and more on the way as more high quality medical facilities continue to be opened here in town. If you work in the trades, Las Vegas is a fantastic town for you. First of all, there is a never-ending need for HVAC technicians here.
Yes.
And that's a need that'll never go away.
Correct.
Not only that, but as Justin said, we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need framers for the housing boom that continues to go on.
Correct.
We're still building houses all over the city. So all of the tradesmen that go into building houses, we need that. As well as the commercial tradesmen that build the big commercial buildings. So there's always commercial construction going on here in town. So there's a big market for that sort of labor. In addition to that, we've told you guys before on the channel that the tech industry here is booming.
Yes.
There are large tech companies that have established themselves here in town, such as Zappos, Switch, Boxable, lots of technology companies. Amazon has a massive presence here now. So there's a lot of jobs in the tech industry here in Las Vegas, and that is another industry that continues to grow. Just because you're coming to Las Vegas doesn't mean that you're going to be dealing blackjack or tending bar. There is a large and growing economy here that needs all sorts of different types of labor. So don't be confused by the reputation of the town. If Las Vegas is on your list of places that you're considering, no matter what you do for a living, do a little research, because chances are whatever you do, we need it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next thing that you should know about Las Vegas is that Las Vegas, the neighborhoods are far from homogenous. They are not all the same.
Correct.
And you know what, Justin, I'm going to let you talk about this. You've been here for a few years longer than I have. Why don't you talk a little bit about the different neighborhoods and some of their characteristics?
Okay, well, I mean, there's lots of different neighborhoods and lots of different characteristics. So we have anything from classic, mid-century, modern. We have neighborhoods that are completely Adobe-style homes. You know, obviously you have that Spanish architecture and Tuscan architecture. You'll see that a lot here in Las Vegas. But you're also seeing a trend for more modern homes. A modern style, sleek lines, big windows. So it really depends on what you're looking for. They're starting to build a lot more townhomes and starter homes as well. We're seeing a lot of people coming in and first-time home buyers. So it's a great place for you to start. I've said it, you know, dozens of times in the channel. Vegas is a great place to start or restart your life. There's always going to be an opportunity for you here. Now you also have different sides of the town. And you'll hear people talk about, oh, what side of town are you on? You know, I'm on the east side, I'm on the west side, northwest, I'm in Henderson, I'm in Summerlin, I'm in Central. So getting to understand the sides of town and where you want to be is super important. Now you have to remember, you have Henderson, which is its own city in itself, home government, own police force. You have Las Vegas, again, its own city, its own government, its own police force. You have North Las Vegas, own city, own government, own police force.
One of the things when you are moving here, this is why it's really important for you to reach out to Justin and I, or another realtor, but obviously we would love for you guys to work with us. If you have a certain type of a lifestyle that you like to live, if you want to live a more urban lifestyle, if you want to live a suburban lifestyle or a rural lifestyle, if you want to have, you know, we just did a video on the different types of houses you can have here in Las Vegas, right? If you want a log cabin in the mountains, if you want horse property with acreage, if you want to live in a high-rise or in a townhome, and you don't know where to find those things here in Las Vegas, that's where we come in, right? You call us and you tell us, hey, Mike and Justin, this is the type of lifestyle that I like to live. I'm an outdoorsy person, or I'm a person who wants to have horses on my property, or I'm a person who wants to be close to the action. And in addition to that general description of the type of lifestyle you want to live, then you add on to that by telling us what are your needs for you and your family if you have one. How much house do you need? How much budget do you have to spend? What are the amenities that are important to you? What are the things that you need to have in your neighborhood? Because we know where to find that stuff. We know the neighborhoods in this town. We know the amenities that those neighborhoods have. And a good realtor, a good real estate agent, is going to be a far more valuable tool than any Google search or any search on one of the big real estate websites like Zillow or Redfin, etc. There's nothing wrong with those sites. They're great for research. I understand the value that they bring to the table. But there's simply no substitution for calling somebody who's lived here for several years and whose expertise lies in matching the person with the home and having a genuine conversation with them. And that's what we do here.
And I think Mike brings up a valid point, because your home is going to be one of, if you're not your largest investment ever in your life. And so not only do Mike and I want to make sure that you find that right home, but when we take you to look at a home, we want to make sure that you're looking at other things as well. Where are you going to be shopping? Where are you going to be dining? Where are you going to be enjoying your entertainment? Where are the parks at? If you like to hike, how close are you to the trails, or how close are you to water? So it's not just about the home, it's about the neighborhood and the area that you're in. And Mike and I really want to make sure that we customize your home tours so that you can see the entire lifestyle that you're going to live.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So make sure if you are thinking about moving to Las Vegas, reach out. All of our contact information is in the description below. You can call us, you can text us, you can comment on this video, you can send us an email. We are very, very easy to get a hold of. Moving on, guys, let's go ahead and get to our next point, and that is if you live here in Las Vegas, chances are you're going to be hosting a lot.
Yeah.
Justin says it all the time. You move to Las Vegas, you become a hotel.
You become a hotel, absolutely. Everybody, all of a sudden, they want to visit you.
Yeah, for sure. So you just need to be ready for that, right? And what that means is, I'm not saying you have to have a guest room, although I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it if you did have a guest room. You may deliberately not want to have a guest room specifically so you can tell them, like, hey, you need to go get a hotel.
Yeah.
We have a guest room. We enjoy it when family comes into town and stays with us. I don't mind playing tour guide. I mean, let's face it, being a tour guide is basically my job.
Yeah.
You know, we spend a lot of time with people who are moving here, who reach out to us often through this channel, and they want to purchase a home here. So we've been known to pick people up at the airport, or we'll pick them up at their hotel. And we are real estate agents / tour guides.
Yeah. And we both love to talk. So as we're going to our destination, we can talk to you about the history of Vegas. We can talk to you about the sites that you're going to be seeing and the neighborhoods that you're going to be in.
So we're not saying that you need to do it to the extent that we do it as real estate agents, but just be prepared for the fact that if you are going to move to Las Vegas, chances are family is going to want to come stay with you. And then they're going to want you to give them the tour. They're going to want to know where's the good places to eat, what are the good shows they should go see. And you would be well served to have that information. So make sure that you are learning about Las Vegas and learning about how the locals live here and learning about the things that are fun for the tourists so that you can be a good host when you have friends and family come to town.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, for our last point, the last thing that you need to know before you move to Las Vegas is you need to be aware about the peculiarities of the Las Vegas housing market. And there's a couple of them. And I'm not saying these things are completely unique to Las Vegas. Obviously, they are not. However, you may be coming from somewhere that does not share these traits, and you should know about them. The first one is the overwhelming majority of the houses in Las Vegas are in an HOA.
Correct.
So if you have had the luxury of living outside of an HOA, unless you are going to very specifically go out of your way to find a home that's not in an HOA, chances are a lot of the options that Justin and I send you are going to be in an HOA, and you need to be prepared for that. So what does that mean? It means, first of all, you need to be prepared financially. So you need to know what the HOA fees are going to be and make sure that you factor those into your budgeting considerations when you're deciding how much house you want to buy. And that's a conversation that Justin and I will have with you, along with Steve and Linda, our preferred lending partners. They know how to work out all the numbers on that and make sure that you don't buy more house than you can afford, max out your budget with your mortgage, and then not have the money left over to pay your HOA fees. Another thing that you need to be aware of is make sure that you understand the rules of the HOA, right? Part of the buying process involves getting a copy of your HOA rules during the contingency period so that you can review those rules. And if you don't agree with them, you can back out of the deal, right? We highly recommend taking the time to look over those rules and make sure that you understand them and make sure that you agree with them before you let that deal finalize. If there is some arduous rule that HOA puts in place, such as, say, they don't allow you to park your RV in your, on your property, and you're somebody who lives the RV lifestyle, you're somebody who has an RV that they want to take out on a regular basis and you want to keep it right there at that house, maybe that's not the right HOA for you. Maybe we need to find you another home that allows RV parking on property, just as an example. So make sure that you're aware of the fact that we have a ton of HOAs here. Make sure that you financially budget for that, and make sure that you are okay living under whatever set of rules that HOA puts in place. Another thing that you need to be prepared for, especially if you're not coming from another desert town, is you need to be prepared for the electric bill that is going to be required in order for you to keep your house cool in the summertime. Obviously, Las Vegas is up in the 100 and teens on a regular basis in the summer. Your AC is going to get worked overtime and your electric bill is going to reflect that.
Correct.
So make sure that you're prepared for that as well. Remember guys, if you need lending help, reach out to our partners Steve Schauer and Linda Vo at Security National Mortgage. They are the best in town. They can help you figure out what you qualify for, what sort of rate you're going to get. And if you're not there yet, they can give you a roadmap to help you get from where you are to where you are able to qualify to purchase that dream home. When you do get to that point, reach out to Justin and I here at the Moody Olson team. We help people like you every single day find their dream home here in the Las Vegas Valley, and we would love to help you. We're easy to get a hold of, like I said before. You can call us, you can email us, you can text us, you can put a comment on this video right here. We will reach back out to you. You can also get onto our Calendly link and schedule a video chat. We are super easy to get a hold of, and we love helping people find their dream home here in Las Vegas. It's what we do. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we put out a new video. We put out 2 videos every single week of the best Las Vegas locals and real estate content that we can bring you. And until next time, guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Justin.
We're out of here.